Welcome to the Sunday market breakdown. Now, as you can see on the watch list, there's a shit ton of pairs, and that's well, mainly because the markets are looking very, very pretty. First of all, we're going to start with two pairs that are already on the very short-term watch list. That means we're going to be tracking them down on the 4 hours, seeing for possible entries. Now, the first one is US dollar, Canadian dollar. Starting on the weekly, I'm going to make it a bit bigger. We're currently at our weekly high. What can I see on the weekly high? Sellers, sellers, buyers, and here very strong liquidity push. Secondly, we have a push, IC push. So this IC can work as a magnet. Now, let's go to the daily. What can I see on the daily? I can see impulse, switch of momentum, shoulder one, hit shoulder two, failed, and then we have this flat wall on this daily high. So we have a lot of room to trade towards the downside, and we are in selling territory. So here, waiting on the 4 hour for a potential entry. I will not take a deceleration because I don't have a daily for completion, but I will be waiting for switch of momentum, something like this. Boom. And then all the way towards the weekly first or the daily first. Let's see. Yes, the daily first. That's the first one on the watch list. The second one is NZD Swiss. Starting on the weekly. What can I see on the weekly is that we're currently trading in a bullish market structure. We have one, two, three. Here we have a break of structure, confirmed break, one, two, three, four. First liquidity here tried to push towards the beginning of the correction, towards the weekly high, but we failed. We made a new action, switch of momentum, shoulder one, yet shoulder two. Price did not came back. Here we had correction with the trend, switch of momentum, shoulder one, yet shoulder two. Bearish bias here. But what was this? Mainly a fake out of this bullish M. Fake out, boom. Reclaim from the zone. Previous week, we had a very bullish impulsive close. And currently, we're at our inverse head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder one, D head, shoulder two, aligning nicely with our monthly IC. We have shoulder one, D head, switch of momentum, shoulder two, one, two, three. We had a momentum retest from that zone. And what's happening now? The potential structural retest. We're at this zone right now. On the daily, nothing too special. What can I see here? We have impulse. Oh, impulse. And this move is pretty correctively, right? We have three candles bullish impulse and one, two, three, four, five candles bearish correction. So very sharp on the 4 hour. If I get a switch of momentum, a reversal, then I will take this trade. Then I'm going to go over a couple more on the watch list. The first one is GBP USD. Now, what can I see? We're trading in a bearish market structure. High, 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 low, break of structure, lower low, lower low, lower high. Not a break here. It's the new action. And what do we get here? Switch of momentum, impulse, correction, and boom, engulfing candle, impulse. First of all, we have not tapped this weekly first structure yet. When the weekly structure is tapped, I will wait for a corrective pullback towards my daily zone. And secondly, we still have room to trade towards this inverse head and shoulder pattern, where there's lots of buying liquidity. So on the daily, I want to see a confirmation pattern. What do I see on the daily? We have impulse, correction, impulse, correction, impulse, impulse, correction, impulse, push, IC, push. So waiting for my price to come towards the zone. Next one on the watch list, almost the same analysis. On the weekly, first of all, bearish trend. Secondly, we're making lower lows, lower highs, so we're in a bearish market structure. A couple of weeks ago, we had here switch of momentum, shoulder one, hit shoulder two. The bulls took over, but here the bears really kicked in, making a new action towards this action. Boom. Two things are interesting. First of all, we broke under this zone. And secondly, we haven't activated our inverse head and shoulder pattern yet. So still room to trade towards the downside. I need daily patterns. And like pound and the D, we have the impulse correction, impulse, push, IC, push. So waiting for the pullback. The next one on the watch list is Australian dollar, US dollar. First of all, we are making lower lows and lower highs. we have here a reversal pattern, shoulder one, the hit, shoulder two, with one, two, three, potential fourth, potential fifth leg. Now, normally when I have a pattern and a pattern, so a reversal with a continuation, I will put my zone on the shoulder region. But what can I see on the bearish W, the first structure? Lots of sellers, 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 sellers. So very strong selling region. Now on the daily is going to confirm my bias even more. We have push, IC, push. So trading in a bearish market structure, we have a bearish continuation pattern. And on the 4 hour, what can I see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So waiting for my price to come towards the zone. Next one on the watch list is Euro USD. As you can see, there was a lot of US dollar pairs forming up very nicely. First of all, again, bearish market structure. We here had our big head and shoulder pattern. We activated that head and shoulder pattern. There, switch of momentum, 1, 2, 3, potential fourth leg, potential fifth leg. Now, this one is a two-weight setup because we're here, we have our bullish M, 1, 2, 3, with buyers, 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 buyers. And secondly, we have our bearish W with sellers, strong sellers on this region too, strong supply and demand zone. So I will wait for the price to either hit one of these zones. If it hits the long zone, I will look for a long entry. If it then comes back to the short one, I will look for a short entry. Next one on the watch list is Euro NZD. Very straightforward setup. We're making lower lows, lower highs, lower low, new lower low, lower high. When I draw my fib from the low to the high, I can see that it's not yet been activated, but I'm waiting for this bearish W to be tapped. 1, 2, 3. Waiting for this 100 zone to be tapped to look for an entry. And I know my risk-free zone is at this weekly first structure because potentially the price can do this. Boom. So up, look for an entry till here. Next one on the watch list, Euro Swiss. Euro Swiss, we took a trade in this one 2 weeks ago at this zone. And what can we see is that the bulls kicked in. We retested here this little nick, bearish W, tested it, the bears kicked in, and boom, switch of momentum, forming an inverse head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder one, the head, potentially shoulder two, and room towards this weekly IC. Now, on the daily, this is aligning nicely with a sort of bullish M. 1, 2, 3, corrective fourth leg, corrective fifth leg. Now, very important, if we tap the weekly IC, I want to see that the price is coming back correctively towards this zone. If it's very impulsively, I'm not interested in this setup anymore. Next one on the watch list is Euro AUD. Euro AUD, currently we're trading at buying territory. First of all, we have a bearish W, 1, 2, 3. But what can I see is that the price has failed to make a new lower low. Instead, we got a switch of momentum. Shoulder one, the head, potentially shoulder two. So it is possible that the price needs to go a bit higher to grab some more liquidity, potentially towards this zone, to then fall down to make a new lower low. So waiting for the price to come to this zone. What can I also see on the daily is that we have this little bullish M. 1, 2, 3, potential fourth, potential fifth. So waiting for the zone to be tapped. Pound NZD. Again, bullish trend, bullish market structure, higher highs, higher highs, higher lows. Here we had a switch of momentum, and inverse head and shoulder, 1, 2, 3. Then here the bears on this head and shoulder pattern, the bears kicked in. Here we had very impulsive bears, very strong bears, but what do we get? A fake out. 1, 2, boom. So here, switch of momentum, shoulder one, the head, shoulder two, on a nice buying region. Buyers, buyers, buyers. And you can see lots of support here. Lots of support here. More IC, more support, more support. So waiting for the price to come to the zone. Look for an entry. Next on the watch list, New Zealand dollar yen. First of all, bullish, higher highs, higher high, higher low. So we can draw our fib from the high to the low, weekly fib. And what can I see is that our weekly fib is nicely aligning with this inner bullish end pattern. One, two, three, four, potential fifth leg. What I don't really like about the setup is that we had a very bearish engulfing candle close, right? So it's very bearish, very impulsively. So potentially this could mean shoulder one, D head, shoulder two. So I will wait for my zone to be tapped, and then my risk-free zone will be here. Next one on the watch list is New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar. What can I see? Bullish market structure again. One, two, three, four. And here we're just making bullish M's. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, five. And one, two, three, four. We closed under our weekly first structure. So I'm just waiting for my weekly second structure, which is here, the 100 level, to be tapped and to look for a potential entry. New Zealand dollar Swiss, already discussed. The next one is Swiss yen. Swiss yen, still trading at a bullish market structure. First of all, we have a natural M, one, two, three. Again, what I don't like about the setup is that we have a bearish engulfing candle close, making potentially, and in this one it's a bit clearer to see, shoulder one, the head, shoulder two. Nevertheless, we're approaching a liquidity zone in a bullish pattern. Our market trend is bullish. So waiting for the zone to be tapped, look for an entry up until this weekly first structure. If that one is tapped, I know the sellers can kick in and potentially retest towards further downwards momentum. So more stricter on this setup. And the next one on the watch list is AUD yen short. Now, what can I see on AUD yen short? First of all, I have a head and shoulder pattern. Shoulder one, the head, potentially shoulder two. I could see that we've already taken liquidity from this zone. We did not make a new higher high. Instead, we had a new action with a switch of momentum forming a head and shoulder pattern. So this is a clear signal for me that the bears have clearly kicked in, and potentially we need some more liquidity. So we potentially need a new action, maybe here from this zone, to trigger more liquidity to go more towards the upside. But right now, the price or the market is telling me that it wants to go down. So waiting for my zone to be tapped and look for an entry. Now, as you can see, this was a pretty big list. We went through it pretty quickly as well. But yeah, lots of zones still need to be tapped. And if they don't get tapped, then that's it. The market ultimately does what it wants. So we're just going to stay patient. But for now, on the very, very short watch list, US dollar CAD short, New Zealand dollar Swiss long, waiting for a 4-hour reversal on both sides, and then look for a trade. So yeah, see you next week.